What's up, everybody? Your boy M is here. So I got something for you guys today, and it's about paying off your debt. Now, debt is absolutely a killer for all of us. It really stops you from doing the things that you want to do. It really hinders your budget because the problem with debt is, right, if you have like three or four credit cards, right, nine times out of 10, you're going to be have to paying up like 21% on whatever your credit is. So if you have 21% on like $2,000, it's gonna be like around 100 or $180 a month that you're paying on that. So even imagine if you had like 3,000, that's be like $183 that you're paying off your debt. So it really hinders you from doing all the other things that you need to do, which is like saving and investing, right? So to pay off debt, we got to know that first you have to have a job. Get that straight out the way. Have to have a job, you have to be making income, and you have to be going ahead and taking advantage of overtime. Why do you say? Because the more money that you can put in your pocket to pay it off, the faster you get rid of that. Because if you're getting charged 21% on $3,000, it's going to keep holding you back. However, again, if you're working a job that pays you bi-weekly and you're bringing the minimum of like $3,000 every month, that's gonna be kind of hard for you to kind of peel back. And that's why you need to be working your job and going ahead and going for overtime, because the overtime is going to help you diminish the amount of payments that you have to make overtime. So use that overtime to kill off the debt. And we want to destroy the debt as fast as possible, right? Why? Because we don't want it to build with time. If it builds with time, that means that we are getting basically screwed. And you don't want that. My next point now into paying off debt is that you need to have a plan or some type of budget. I'm not a big fan of budgeting, to be honest with you. However, I'm a big fan of having a plan. And so, what would the plan be? First of all, we would not be going out to eating all the time. We'll have a certain amount of money that we will be going ahead and put towards a credit card. And I would say prioritize the lowest amount and continue to go up to the highest amount. So, if you have three credit cards, one is 500, the next one is 1,000, next one after that is 1,500, the next one is going to be like 2,000. I would focus my efforts on the lowest one and continue to scale up and pay off the higher one. So first we would do the 500, right? And I give myself a timeline. The first one I want to destroy is the 500. I'm going to do that next month. The 1,000 one I would be doing during the second month. And for the third one, which will be the 1,500, I will give myself the opportunity to pay half of it one month, and the next one pay it off fully. And then the last credit card, because I will be working overtime and doing that, I will try to pay it off in the next 2 months, just like we did for the third one. Why? Because we don't want them sitting for too long, because they're going to get us on compounding interest, because we want compounding interest for ourselves. So if we keep doing that for them, we line banks' pockets with money, but we're not going to line ourselves with money. So that's the problem with that. So we want to make some type of plan or budget to consistently handle and chop that down. And based on our overtime or having our jobs, we want to destroy that. And so our next plan is being consistent, right? So I hope you guys notice that it's about a 6 month period in my mind to pay off all that debt, right? Not just working your normal hours, but with overtime. And depending on your overtime, how many hours they give you, you could probably do that even faster than 6 months. But ideally, you want to give yourself some breathing room, because again, we're human. We want to go out, we want to do things, we want to see our friends. So I will give the span of 6 months to pay off that what is that, $6,000 or $7,000 in 6 months. And if you could do it shorter, yes, do that. But again, that's why I said have a plan, because you want to make room to go out and do things. However, You want that 6 months plan so you can pay off your debt, and you initially do 500 for the first one. Next one, $1,000. You could put away some money, because remember, if you pay 5,000 away for the first one, or 500, I'm sorry, for the first one, and you're getting a minimum of like $3,000, but say you work overtime, and you're getting an extra $2,000, so that means you're getting 5,000. So I would dedicate that money to paying off that 500, then working on the next one, right? But since you worked that 1 month and you got $5,000, you can easily transition it over to the next month, right? Why? Because you're gonna give yourself time, which is that month. So that next month coming, you won't pay it. And let's say you get another 5,000, and let's say initially you spend most of your money on bills like $2,000, which you left over with another 2,000 after that. Then you can go ahead and pay the next one off. But since you're giving yourself time, you should have extra money to give you a cushion. And we'll just keep doing the strategy over and over again until you pay it all off. And again, you just want to be consistent. That means that you're going to stick to the model that you've already prescribed to. You're not going to let anything deviate you off your timeline or on the plan that you've set. And the next thing is going to keep your expenses and lifestyle low, because this is the main issue that we have today with a lot of people. Lifestyle inflation. Want the best cars, want to live in fancy apartments, owning homes and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff you don't need. We want that because we've been told that these things are going to help us build our financial future. But there's many ways that we can build our financial future if you live in America, right? Invest in stocks, bonds, and all these things, and you can get that at a lesser price point than buying a house. You can save that money, invest it, and then go ahead and do other projects. Like you could build an account on Instagram, YouTube. You can build something on a streaming service. You can make music for yourself. That's a great one. There's so many things that you could do, that you can create something for yourself that has a less of a demand on your wallet. Because a house is a huge purchase. Cars are a huge purchase. And then 9, 7 to 10, right? These things, they're going to cost even more money to maintain. So it really doesn't help that if you are looking for the nicest things, that this is going to hurt you. Really, they're going to hurt you, because if you want a BMW and you got, let's say, $6,000 in debt, and you can pay it off because you do got a job and you can work overtime, but you don't stay consistent to the plan, what's going to end up happening, right? You're going to have more debt to pay off because you just got a new car, and they're going to be saying, hey, you know what? When you got this car, it's going to cost you $50,000. Great. You can buy out right straight out, right? Okay, great. So that means that we're going to finance it. And that's probably the worst thing you could do right now in our time. Anything finance is not going to be great. It's best that you get like something used. You stay with your parents or live with your friends or get a cheaper apartment, and just double down on the debt. You know what I'm saying? Double down on it, pay it off, but have your lifestyle be low maintenance, at least until you get all the debt paid off, right? Because once the debt's paid off, that means that you have the more opportunity to have extra money in your pocket, that gives you more opportunity to spend it on things that you really want to do. But again, I'm going to stress, you want to keep your lifestyle low. You want to keep your expenses low, because what's going to happen is, let's say you do pay off your debt, right? You do execute the plan. You do live a minimal lifestyle for a while. Like 6 months to a year. Pay off the debt. You have a little bit of extra cash on you in savings. That's great. But if you go backwards and start buying things that look cool on the internet and stuff like that, you're going to be back in the same place. Don't want that. Don't want that. And then my last point in how you can help help you pay off your debt is keeping yourself accountable. So that means that you're going to keep your job, you're going to work the overtime until the debt's paid off. You're going to follow the plan that you've set in place for yourself for that 6 months or to that year period to get that debt down. You're going to have a plan for how much money you're going to put away to pay off the debt. You're going to stay consistent, and you're going to keep your lifestyle low and keep your expenses low. That's what you guys want to focus on. And that's in the whole thing of keeping yourself accountable. You're just gonna follow the plan that you set out. And that's gonna get you out of debt. The simplest things are the best things to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.